Шановні колеги, ми продовжуємо.
Esteemed colleagues, we continue our working day. Colonel Lysenko, Minister of Defense of Ukraine, spokesperson on NATO-related issues. Good afternoon, esteemed colleagues. The information on the events in the ATO zone last 24 hours, Lugansk direction, the main military actions moved to the east of the region. The militants for many times were violating the ceasefire in Stanitsa, Lugansk and Shastya. In both places, the occupants were applying the light arms and snipers. Also, there were shellings by enemy in Krymsk and Novozvanivska. The second of them was from mortars. In total, in Lugan direction, there were 8 shellings, 1 from heavy weaponry, Donetsk direction. At Svetlodarsk yesterday, there were 3 powerful mortar shellings by enemy. Everyone was quite long, from 35 minutes up to 1 hour. The main hotspot is Avdiivska industrial zone. Yesterday, the intensive shooting lasted for 2.5 hours. Besides light arms, the enemy was actively using mortars. Also, there were some shellings by the enemy near Gorlivka. In total, there were 7 enemy shellings in the Donetsk direction registered, 5 of them from heavy weaponry. In Mariupolsk direction, yesterday there was 1 powerful artillery shelling and some mortar shellings. Mariinsky district and near the sea lines are not quiet as before. Unlike in the past days, the main activity of the militants was not in the evening, but at night and in the morning, from midnight till 8 a.m. The intensity of enemy's firing is high. Yesterday, at our positions, there were 170 mortar mines launched and artillery shells. In total, in Mariupolsk direction, there were 20 shellings, 9 from heavy weaponry. In the Donetsk direction, yesterday, there was also registered the flight of 1 reconnaissance drone of the enemy. During the last 24 hours, and the result of military actions, 1 Ukrainian serviceman was killed, 1 was wounded, and the confirmed losses of the enemy: 2 wounded occupants, 1 in Lugansk and 1 in Donetsk direction.
The Ukrainian Reconnaissance Service informs that due to the heavy losses and conflicts between the militants and the commander and between themselves, on November 10th, the special group of military psychologists and FSB officers arrived to the front line and positions of the so-called 4th Brigade of Russian occupational troops. SBU had liquidated the network of agents in Donetsk Oblast. Thus, servicemen had detained 5 informers of the occupants. They collected information about the routes, weaponry, and the numbers of Ukrainian troops in Kurachovo, Krasnogoryenka, and Mar'їnka. And then they delivered the information to the enemy via internet or by telephone, and the law enforcers expropriated the machinery, telephones, cards, computers, etc. At the same time, 1 more former militant made use of the program "You are awaited at home," and due to the difficult material situation, this man joined the militants in 2015 2015, he made overhauls of the weaponry and convoyed people, and nevertheless, he was paid no money by the militants, and now, and having heard about the program, he applied for it, and if the court decides that he committed no serious crimes, he would be liberated from responsibility. Yesterday, near checkpoint close to Volnovakha, in course of search of the car, the grenade and almost 150 shells were found. In Nikolsk, close to Mariupol, the policeman prevented delivery of weapons. In a post parcel, they stopped a young man when he made attempt to send it. The information is over. Now the questions. Fifth TV channel, OSCE mission in Ukraine informed that they know the militants do not carry out demining near Stanitsa Luhanska. What is the situation on Ukrainian side with demining? Ukrainian party stacks with all its commitments as to demining. As for Stanitsa Luhanska, as to the process of withdrawal of and disengagement of troops and means, we had informed the mission about prepared routes and points where the people and machinery would be withdrawn. But since the enemies continuously violate the ceasefire regime and undertake continuous challenge, the militants, moreover, the militants do not carry out demining of the territory. Our reconnaissance service suggests that the militants have a big problem. Having installed the mines, they haven't mapped them properly. And now a lot of local residents suffer from this when they go to small woods near villages for hunting or for gathering mushrooms, for example. They trap onto these mines, and this is a big threat in Lugansk Oblast. And to respond to this situation, the commander of the so-called Second Military Corps of Russian Federation, they blame Ukrainian party that these are Ukrainian reconnaissance group which installed that booby traps and mines and issued a special order to map all the explosive ordnance installed in the field.
Do you know anything about the so-called subversive activists in Crimea? I will repeat again that no Ukrainian military were detained either on the territory of Crimea or on the territory of ATO. The fake, which was invented by special services of Russian Federation, has the objective three main things. First, to discredit the armed forces of Ukraine, to show to the world community that Ukraine is an aggressive country which is trying to destabilize the situation in Crimea with the help of the subversive activists, and to show how efficient, so to say, they are in their work. But there were no subversive activists detained, and it's a pity for those people who will be appointed such subversive activists. I would like to emphasize that there are no Ukrainian servicemen or Ukrainian subversive activists who were detained in Sevastopol. That's another fake of Russian propaganda or Russian special forces. No other questions. Thank you. Thank you.
Шановні колеги, наступна подія
The next event at 1.